Hello, this is Hal Ruth, and welcome to the Equalizer9 Tip of the Week. Yes, the tip of the week is back by popular demand. I've had so many people call me or email me and say, why aren't you doing the tip of the week anymore? And so we're going to start doing them every single week, well, mostly every single week going forward. So be looking for them. And today, what we're going to start with is a two-part series on succession planning. One part is going to be, which is today, which is going to be about leadership succession. And then next week, we're going to talk about ownership succession. Two different things. They can go hand in hand sometimes, but not always. So let's talk about leadership succession. And what do we mean by leadership succession? I have trouble saying that word. Simply put, when we say leadership succession, we're talking about identifying those people that are going to be our next gen leaders and preparing them today for what they're going to be stepping into tomorrow. And see, here's the thing, here's the reason why it's so important. It's so important because we have some essential, critical leaders in our company that make everything go. And if they were to step out tomorrow and we don't have someone that we can put in their shoes, we're in trouble. Or if we have to go outside of our company to hire someone and bring them in to step in those shoes, we may be in trouble. At the very best, we're going to have to wait and we're going to have to hunt and we're going to have to find those right people. At the very worst, we're going to bring someone in and culturally, they're not going to be a fit and it's going to be a problem. So we need to invest the time now to develop those future next-gen leaders so that they are ready to step in when we need them and when it counts. Now, I'm amazed at how many companies don't have any leadership succession plans in place. And by the way, it's probably more don't have than do have. And I think it's for two reasons, I think. One, we just get so busy and it just doesn't seem to be that thing we have to do now. So we say we're going to push it off. And that's danger. The second reason I think we don't do it is we have to face our own mortality sometimes or our own aging sometimes in order to recognize that this is essential. And so that's hard for us sometimes. But here's the bottom line. All of your critical, essential leaders within your organization today, one of four things is inevitably going to happen. Number one, they may leave. They may find another opportunity and they may seek it and they're gone. They're going to walk in one day and give you 3 weeks notice at most and they're going to leave. That could happen. Number two, they're going to retire. All of us are one day going to hang up the cleats, right? So one day they're going to retire and spend more time with the grandchildren, more fishing, more golf, whatever, but they're not going to be doing what they do that's essential for your company any longer. Or number three, they may get sick. There may be a prolonged illness and it takes them out of the game for a while or maybe forever. It happens and we hate to talk about it, but we all have seen it. And then the fourth one we really don't want to talk about, but sometimes there's a plots situation. That's a Yiddish word for. So inevitably, all of us are going to fall into one of those four categories one day. And we're going to leave or not be in the job that we're in now. That's why leadership succession is so critical, because it's all about the sustainability and long-term viability of the profitability of your company. And so many people depend on it. So how do we do this? How do we do this leadership succession planning? Well, the first step is we must identify who the essential people within our organization are, whether they be at the corporate level or maybe at an office or division level. Identify who the people are that are so essential to the day-to-day operating of the business. And we can help you with that. If you want to call me, I can tell you how to identify who they are. You know who they are, though. The second thing, which is a little harder, is identifying who those next generation leaders are who are capable of stepping into those shoes. Now we're going to do it two ways. We're going to run it through two lenses. The first lens is about performance. Who are the performers? Who are the people who are doing well at what we do? And of course, you know, I mainly work with construction companies. So who is it out there that is very good at pre-construction or in the field or project management? Who does what we do very well? That's the performance lens. Now, the second lens is a little harder. It's not as obvious, but it's absolutely as important. And this lens is the future potential lens. And this is where we're trying to measure their character. Does their values match our values? Do they have the ability to lead people? Do people want to follow them? And so there's other things we'll put in this mix that will measure their potential. But once we've done this and we've come out with who our potential next generation leaders are, the next step is we have to create personal development plans for each. We want to try to designate what path those people are going to take. They're going to go toward this critical leader's role or this critical leader's role. And we're going to prepare them for stepping into those shoes at some time in the future. Now, another part of this development plan that goes side by side with it is we're going to create a mentoring plan where those essential leaders of today are going to mentor those future next-gen leaders. Now, here's a critical thing. The essential leaders of today have to recognize the importance of their role in preparing the next guys. And they can't see this as a threat to them. They have to see this really as a sort of kind of a, wow, you are so essential that we have to let you prepare your next person in your shoes. And so they have to embrace this. Now, why is this leadership succession planning so important, and what does it do? Well, number one, it prepares us for the inevitability, as we talked about earlier, so that we don't miss a beat and the company can thrive for the long term, and we don't have to hire from outside. But the second thing it does, maybe more in the short and intermediate term, is it creates retention among your most talented next generation people, because they see that you are investing in them. And when they see that you're investing in them, they're going to get sticky to your organization. They're going to want to stay around because they see a future and they see that you're building them up. So it's tremendously beneficial in that way. So that wraps up our discussion today on leadership succession. Next week, we're going to talk about ownership succession and how critical it is to have a plan in place for that as well. But hey, let me tell you this. If you find benefit in our weekly tip of the week videos and you want to get it right into your mailbox, just go onto our website at Equalizer9.com and you can sign up and it'll come straight in your inbox every single week. Also, if you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can watch it that way as well. Instructions here on the screen. And if you ever need to talk to me about anything, whether it be about the succession planning or anything else we talk about, call me at 919-427-1761 or email me at how@equalizer9.com. It was good spending time with you today, and we'll see you again next week with the Equalizer 9 Tip of the Week.